before this gets put up. But it's on the list.
Yeah, we built this place from the ground up. We bought 16 acres and got to lay it out, and it's a nice way to do it. We were trying to find a ready-built farm, but I couldn't find what I wanted, so we ended up doing it this right. I'm glad we did.
Oh, you do everything you want, right?
Yep. Well,
Well,
You tried.
everything that you can afford.
there you go. Now you got it.
Yeah,
There are a lot of things that I would like to have done differently, but
yeah, there are limits.
your budget is what it is.
That's right.
And originally I'm from the UK originally, and we were debating about whether we wanted to move back there or not, but with the cost of land, it was silly to try and do something like this over there. It's much more affordable here.
We actually just bought property, my husband and I. It's an old farmhouse on 40 acres.
Ooh, nice.
And my parents live on about
same.
a mile away on about just under 30 acres. And that's
Over
where horses-
30.
Just over 30?
Yep.
That's where horses are at right now. One of the big summer projects is pulling old cattle fence and putting it
Yeah.
in the fenced our place. this summer.
That's actually what I was looking for, was an older farmhouse with property. And I would find a farmhouse I liked and the land wasn't good, or land I liked and the house wasn't good.
Right.
But I just couldn't find anything that had everything.
Yeah.
Because we were thinking just build the indoor and the barn side of it. But
The only unfortunate thing is it actually had an old barn in the back, and instead of redoing the roof to fix it, they pulled it down.
So
we
it's
have a lot of
Now I
work
got
Piled up there.
pulling it apart, but we're trying to reuse as much of it as we can.
yeah, I love those big old red barns. That's what I would like to have converted. We never even thought about Leslie, like it wasn't even on our radar. Because most of my clients were like Hazlitt, Williamston, and then more north.
Yep.
And then our real estate agent was like, you should look at Leslie. And we were like, oh, it's too far away. And then we drove it, and it really
Not that far.
isn't. And everybody says that. They're like, oh, it's a hike. I'm like, it's not. Get on the freeway.
Yeah,
Yep.
you're there.
You're
before-
there. So it ended up working out really well. Because some of the places we looked, you have like, 10 miles of back roads before you get there. And
Yeah, this is nice. You're 2 miles
Yep.
down and you're on the
Yep.
expressway.
And I'm 20 minutes from a Class A venue in Grass Lake for dressage shows, so it makes it easy to have somewhere close to home to show. And
It's got beautiful extension.
does he? But see, you can see why I like him as a dressage prospect.
Yep.
I mean, as an event horse, he would excel just because his dressage would be just stellar. And he's brave too. He's not a spooky, scaredy cat type horse. So I think he'd go to whatever fence. Fine.
He showed that quite well when that chain hit the side of the barn. And
Yeah.
He didn't even.
Nope.
He didn't even flinch.
And he's like this outside too. He's not, doesn't matter whether it's the indoor or the outdoor. And you can see the warm up, he's a little bit fussy, and then as he gets going, he's like, oh, I've got these parameters to work. And okay, I'm going to start to.
Well, and a
steady.
little bit of fussiness. My horse that I've had since he was 5 days old, he's fussy with his bit first bit.
Yeah. And that's,
So I'm used to that.
what I particularly like about this one is his willingness to want to reach and stretch. If anything, he tends to grab and go too low. But a lot of them come so inverted. So I really do like that. Just give him the range and we'll just stretch. How does he look as a Western horse for you? I know nothing about Western. I've never ridden it.
He could do Western.
He could do it.
Yep.
His trot obviously is more English than it is Western. He extends more and
Evan must have heard me say Western.
Oh yeah, she tucked him up there.
see. But
Yeah, there you
it's
go.
really
That's
what works
Western.
with each horse.
Yeah. Yep. When we start cantering them, we stay in 2-point. We don't sit down on them and start to get them to learn to relax in it and bend and be soft. You can sit on him, but just kind of the process we use is to ride a little bit lighter on their back initially, and it produces a nice relaxed canter, and they're not. You get a little claustrophobic if you sit down and give them all these parameters and they don't know how to balance.
Well, and they're not. It's not something they're used to either.
Yeah, not like riders sit down there.
No.
Not at all.
So getting them used to pressure on their back during do one of their transitions.
And his right lead isn't always perfect. He's obviously pushing into her right leg right now, so is thinking bend. But his right lead is definitely not as easy as the left. I'd say it's probably 50% of the time. It's left lead.
I'm used to the opposite. My horse, his left lead is the one he doesn't want to take.
You can see actually once he's in it, he's actually, it's the depart more than the canter itself. Obviously he needs to
And
learn
even
to
since
bend.
the video that you've taken of him in his right canter, that's already improved.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that video was relatively early on, and like I said, this winter has been horrible for consistency and work. I'm trying to do the math in my head on how many rides we probably have had on him. And we let them sit for a little bit when they come in. And so he's probably had, I'd say between 40 and 50 rides. That would be my guess. Like thinking about the weather we've had this winter, not every month has been 4 days every week.
Now, have you had any trouble with him flipping himself? I see that he does have a tendency
He crosses a little bit.
to cross him out.
No, I haven't heard him forge at all. And he hasn't. He's pulled one shoe since he's been here at the field. Which is actually, I think he stone bruised himself when he pulled that shoe because that was the foot he pulled the shoe off of that he was off on. So I think he actually pulled the shoe and then stone bruised his foot. We thought it was an abscess initially, but it never got worse and it never let go. It just gradually got better. And it was a very localized spot. We do also make them stay off the wall quite a bit, so they know not to use the wall. Is there anything else you'd like to see on him?